Hey guys, welcome back. It is the Chill Tech Podcast, episode 39. We're back a week late. I was out at a work event. They had something down at the harbor. They had some 80s cover band and some adult things going on. Beverages, that is, not things. Woo! But it was, yeah, I probably would have rather been here, but, you know, I had to go do the social thing for work. So that's where I was. And then I think we had some technical things broke down, and it just all kind of went downhill from there. So we are here on the makeup week. We got myself, Christian. We got Javon, Keon here. What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Shalom.
Chillone. All right. Well, spring is here, I think. Now,
technically,
I heard something about snow here in Maryland this weekend.
I heard something about snow. I don't know. I know they got snow in New York Monday.
Right. I mean, yeah, because I had a meeting up in Harrisburg in PA on Monday, and we almost didn't go because we're like, well, maybe it's gonna snow, it's gonna be bad, but it really wasn't anything. So I'm ready for actual spring, like real spring, not this
like the sinuses, allergies,
late winter thing. Yeah, I want,
You don't like snow in your spring?
Here's the thing: I like snow, but I want actual real snow.
Oh, you
so shut it down. Either shut it down or don't do it at all. Just in between stuff, it's just a hassle to deal with, and you still gotta go to work. But it's like, some bucks kids are out of school, and this is closed, but that's open. I don't like it. On my nerve, on my last nerve. So spring is here. All right, guys. Spring cleaning. You guys do that?
Yeah, man. Spring cleaning.
Yeah. I don't. What do you do? Come what do you clean for spring? Like
this year, I went through my closet.
You get your computer and you do all the little crevices, and
it's funny, right? Like I actually, for the first time this spring cleaning, did not actually think about like opening up the desktop and like vacuuming. Usually that's one of the things I do like every couple months, but I just went through my mind. I've been focusing on getting rid of clothes this year. So I have 5 45-gallon trash bags of clothes willing to give away.
How many tank tops?
A lot. A lot of tank tops, a lot of old jeans and stuff, like
sweatpants.
Right, a lot of sweatpants and flip-flops and socks. So, I mean, it's a lot of things actually. And some things actually I was going through, and I was like, I haven't worn this since like high school. And I was like, I haven't really done a really thorough one. Like sometimes we go through things, and you're like, oh, I don't wear this and that. It's like one trash bag, but this was the real deal. So it actually allowed me to remove so many things. I ended up just changing everything. I got rid of consoles and got rid of different furnitures and things. So
now, when you say consoles, you don't mean like video game consoles, right?
I meant like the Xbox.
You got rid of what?
I didn't get rid of it. I moved it to like out of my living space.
Okay. The truth comes out. He moved it. He didn't get rid of it.
I moved it out of my line of sight. And it's sad because I just bought Far Cry 5 and I haven't had a chance to play it.
Hey, Far Cry is lit.
I heard it is, man. I bought it and got it day one, and I've yet to play it. So many things have been happening.
I bought it this Monday and I haven't put it down yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Mike's the same way. Mike said he when he bought it, he hasn't put it down yet either. So interesting.
Lit AF.
How about you, Keon? You spring clean, or you just did that when you moved?
Well, since I've moved, I've been trying to do some sort of minimalism type of thing, not like super white walls and nothing there. But I've been trying to just get rid of my stuff because I have a crap ton of stuff in general. So that's all I've been doing, just trying to get rid of things.
That's what's up, yeah.
He's selling his Pixel 2 XL, guys. Anyone wants to buy it, like he wants to get rid of it. He's selling his
Pixel 2 XL. Just to get another one, so or if you have a Google version, just let me know, we can trade. Here.
And he'd give you a whole bunch of cases and stuff too.
All right. Sounds like a deal. Well, on my end, what have I been doing? Well, no spring cleaning really of late, but I have been doing some trying to get rid of some things by selling them, because I made deals with my wife that if I sold some things, I could get a ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. Yes. I'm now a Switch owner. I know. I went ahead and did it. So people, if you want to know why, I'll be making a video for you. Tease, I know. But seriously though, I'm having a good time. I have it undocked most of the time, actually. I take it to the bedroom, hop in the bed, sit down, chill for a little bit, play, then go to sleep and put it down. So
You can't watch YouTube on that, can you?
No.
So the question is, how often does Jaden get to play it?
He actually hasn't played it a whole lot, but here's what we did. So we got it on a Thursday night, right? And before I even for sure knew I was going to get it, I was like, look, I don't have work Friday, dude. So you and I, we're going to chill Friday night, Thursday night. We're going to hang out all night. You know, the plan was originally to play a board game, to watch movies and stuff. So I was like, you know what? If I get the Switch now, we could, really work that out. So we're playing. We watched Doctor Strange. We started around like 8 o'clock. So that was over around like 10 something. So then we flipped it on, hooked it up. We're playing around 12:30. I'm like, you know what? I'm a little tired. So you know what? I'm gonna just lie down here for a second. I'm gonna take a nap. You play. Be with you in a minute. Around 4:30, I regained full consciousness. Wow. But if you have a kid, you know that whole time, every 15 minutes, hey, Dad, did you see this? What? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was good one. Yeah, that was yeah. All right. Oh, Dad. Hey, what about this? What? Yep, that's good. The 4:30, I woke up and he had been going the whole time. So we played till about 6. Finally, the wife was like, you know what, guys? You guys probably, you did it. You were up all night. It's probably time to go to bed. So we shut it down around 6 o'clock. He was not ready. So he put me to shame. I'm feeling very old. He was up all night going for it, and I had to take a nap and still barely could hang.
I miss those times where you get to it's
crazy.
Get consoles and stay up all night to play it. I just wish I can get that feeling again, like that.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Kid momentum to be able to just game literally an entire day and be like. Psh,
I mean, this is my first new console since I got my Xbox 360, right? And I got that in 2006.
Wow.
So 12 years since I had I've had new Xbox 360s because of course they would break and Red Ring of Death. So I've had 2 other ones, but as far as a new console, it's been 12 years. So I'm like, this is crazy. So I've been playing Mario Odyssey, so that's good times. Feels good. So more news incoming with that. So stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
Whoa.
So on to our topic for today. Lots going on as far as education, tablet type devices, Google, Apple, doing all kind of stuff around the same time. I know we got some, Android fan peoples. I won't say fanboys. Fan man, Javon. All right, so Javon, Google now has ChromeOS tablets for education. What's going on? What's new with this?
So, of course, we are late, right? But last Monday, Google decided a day early, and we all kind of knew this was coming. We just didn't know when. And actually, the piece that I wrote and did not submit, I did submit, but it haven't posted yet, was kind of touching on the fact that we were expecting a resurgence in tablets from Google's side. Google launched ChromeOS for tablets, at a dedicated, not this laptop that folds into a tablet and all that other stuff, a dedicated 9x7-inch, tablets. And it made by Acer for the first one. You know how Google does have their Nexus launches where an OEM drops a product. Google's like, we support this one product, and this is our flagship of this thing. So they did that. They said this is for schools. They really pointed at that ChromeOS is going to be updated for more touch-friendly stuff down the road, not just how its current iteration of where it kind of needs a keyboard. It has full Android apps, and there's also a layer of Android, as you know, with ChromeOS. It's like a framework of Android, so it's getting support for Android P, and what currently has Android Oreo frameworks set. So it's essentially an Android tablet with ChromeOS that can do school stuff. That's competitively priced and has a USB port. It has micro SD. It has a built-in stylus from Wacom that's integrates into the tablet, and it's somewhat slim, not really sleek, but somewhat slim, and it's but it's rugged metal. You know what I mean? Like it's built well, and it's still metal, but it's not really meant to like wow the regular. This is to be sold in bulks, and Google is saying that this is so important because they know where Apple was going for their event the next day. So they're like, hey, the stylus is so intricate to ChromeOS now. We're going to even supply schools with boxes of styluses to replace. Like first-party OEM styluses to replace for the tablet. So this is what we assume to be the first wave in the next generation of Google tablets.
All right, so Keon, so we have ChromeOS on these tablets now, as opposed to Android. What's the benefit of this?
Just for me, I see the benefit of just getting ChromeOS into more places, and it's a little bit. It might be a little bit more feasible for Google in a sense, and for schools, but it's also kids these days are already playing with phones and playing with tablets of their own, so they're used to touchscreen and whatnot. So it's not even necessarily that big of a deal to them. It's just like another option for them to get used to something that they're already somewhat used to. That's what I see the main benefit being.
Gotcha. So why would we want? I'm trying to think. Why would we want ChromeOS on a tablet instead of just Android? On a tablet specifically.
Well, Android itself may not seem as productive in education-wise, in a sense. But I'm kind of with you. I see a Chromebook being more being better than a Chrome tablet.
Because aren't they just going to buy a keyboard for this anyway?
I mean, you might have to.
I mean,
use the on-screen keyboard, but it might be better just to have a dedicated keyboard.
Yeah, I was wondering about tablets for any kind of productivity, right? Because generally, people are like, oh, this nice tablet, let me go get a keyboard, and then now I can actually use this.
The big thing with the Chrome tablets, just like the Chromebooks, it's that two things. It's that seamless integration to schools' IT departments, which are usually ran by one or two people, and it's instant sign-in, instant MDM management. It's extreme easy. The deployment aspect of this is beyond easy because it's already implemented with Chromebooks. So software
that's tied into ChromeOS then,
right,
not Android.
Right, and the software is 100% the same as what schools have already, a majority of schools already used to. Google Classroom and all of the teacher stuff and all of these syncing stuff and Google Docs and all your integrations and your sign-in, everything. Nothing will change by bringing in a Chromebook tablet if you're already a Chromebook user, for the most part. Now, the biggest thing I would say that Google is the benefit, or say the biggest benefit from Google for this is that the difference between an Android tablet is that you're taking the OEM software part out of this. Google has full control over ChromeOS. You can't skin it. You can't update it. It's 100%. If Google approves it, you get to go, and then you're required by a timeline to make certain changes based on your hardware. So if you support a stylus that's built in, you have to X amount of days to make sure when the next iteration comes out, you have that device driver support until your device is no longer supported. And Chromebooks are generally, ChromeOS in general is supported. I think it's a 5 to 7 years for OS update, which is huge, right? But it's typical for laptops, right? So, just from a software perspective, it's good for Google to have a tablet on the market. Now, I think our audience and us particularly, we don't care about the education part of this Chrome OS, and we're like, when are we getting Chrome tablets for the average consumer? And I think that's where the disconnect really drives here. Does it make sense for us to have Chrome OS tablets? And then I think that your question is, what's the benefit between an Android tablet and a Chrome OS tablet for the average user?
Android tablets are trash.
Yeah, well, and I guess
but
this will lead us.
The Pixel C wasn't trash.
It
It
didn't
just cost a bajillion dollars.
That's
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, this is aimed at education, right? And I think, as I'm thinking about this, part of this push could be that they pretty much have a lock on the school laptop game, right? Which is generally probably older kids, right? But for the younger demographic, they want to just kind of touch and move things. iPad is doing quite well there versus what from Android, right? Like, there's not really, for education, like, what are they gonna do besides just get a bunch of iPads at this point?
I mean,
So this may help them say, hey, look, the older kids are gonna have ChromeOS, Chromebooks. Start them younger with the tablet. Then when they get older, we give them the actual thing with the keyboard, and then keep it moving.
Eventually, you need a keyboard for real work, right? The real world is the keyboard world, right? I don't see the keyboard ever leaving the real world as long as there are things like Excel and stuff like that.
So Siri gets like really advanced, right? Since they side note, how about that? Apple stealing the AI dude from Google, right? Like,
it doesn't. It's
Siri's gonna be awesome now. It's gonna be great.
It's not gonna make any difference because they hired the guy that manages the operations behind it. They didn't get the brains behind it, and that's the big thing, or the intellectual property.
He's gonna hire his buddies. He's gonna bring over, hey, yo, look, I'm at Apple now. Like, go to come over here real quick.
They're like,
they're gonna,
on that side note, that's gonna make one point on that. Culture from where he's going to, from where he came from. How is he? Because Google is very, we take user data and we make AI better. Apple is your privacy is bigger, is better, is more our biggest concern. We don't take user data. How the hell they're gonna? Is his philosophy of search and queries into AI going to translate to Apple? Like, I think that's the biggest part. Everyone's kind of disconnecting. Like,
I think you better find a way.
Culture. I mean, that's a huge difference in culture.
Yeah.
So
when you're getting paid, you're gonna do what they're paying you to do.
Yeah, find a way or find himself,
back at Google,
like a angel investor or something. I don't know. But so it's interesting to see this with the Chrome OS. I didn't really expect it in this vein coming out as far as a Chrome OS tablet. I wanted a new Android tablet. Chrome OS tablet.
I saw Chrome OS coming to tablets, especially with Fuchsia being in the works. But I don't know. I don't really see a need for it yet.
We do need Google tablets. I mean, because
Google, yes. Chrome OS.
Well, here's the thing, right? How many Galaxy tabs and how many Asus Zen tabs? How many Xperia tabs?
Galaxy tabs are generally the best Android tablets you can get. Generally,
they're usually the most available you can get. Because the Tab S3, which I had, and I had to get back because I just cannot stand like all my default stuff, garbage.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's a personal thing. I'm talking about like.
Here's the thing, right? The Pixel user. We're talking about the Pixel user, right?
I'm not talking about the Pixel.
I'm talking about my audience is the Pixel user. Right? no, but
appeal to everybody, bro. I'm trying to appeal to Google because Google's about money.
Listen, right? Well, think about this, right? If it was only about money,
not only
Samsung sells tablets, right? They don't care what they put on it. They'll put Windows, as you've seen already. They'll put Windows on tablets and expect it to sell. They'll put anything, they'll build anything, and they'll just sell it, expect it to sell. The problem with Android tablets is that, and tablets in general, once you buy one, the shelf life of a tablet is supposed to be longer than a year. You don't upgrade tablets like you upgrade phones. And that was the problem with Android tablets. I think the overlining problem. You bought a tablet and it felt like shit after a year. And no one wanted that experience. And they were generally cheap, but to the point, not like Amazon's cheap where they were good cheap. They were bad cheap.
Right.
They were you spent $300 and you felt like you got plastic. You spent, and because it wasn't until recently until the Galaxy tabs were like actually good. Like the Galaxy S tabs were actually good. Like the first two were garbage. Like, you know what I mean? Like it only was from Tab 3 came out when people were like, oh, these are actually decent tablets. Like that was the bigger problem. And then the Pixel C being this flagship Android Google tablet never dropped in price. It was only $500, and it just as of this update,
only $500.
Well, I'm just saying, right? Like Google tried to pull an Apple. They try to say, listen, you want this premium experience, pay this premium price, which to a point makes sense. But to the average consumer of tablets, as we now know, it doesn't make sense. A lot of people who buy tablets nowadays are like, listen, $300 is my max, $350 is my max. I want a good tablet, but I don't want to spend much money. There was no good tablet under $350 besides the Asus Zen series, and that also was never good until as of recently.
Yeah, what's funny about that is that Apple seemed to have the opposite problem. Right? Like their tablets lasted so long
that no one upgraded.
It was affecting their sales. Right? They're like, okay, like no one's buying another tablet because the other one still works.
Yeah, I mean, without like them, right? The Air 1 was what, 2013, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like 2012, 2013. It's like it doesn't have Touch ID, but it still has iOS 11, and it still works fine. I use one at work because I don't feel like taking the bigger iPad at work. So it just works, and like I said, that's Google's thing. They're like, we need tablets to be cool again for the Android side or the Google side. Obviously, ChromeOS does not have the apps for anything, so you need Android apps, but Android apps need to scale. That was another issue. Like and the big issue with that also, Google's apps didn't even scale for some of its own tablets, but were scaling fine for iPads, right? Like the attention to tablets were just not there. And this is the chance to kind of rebrand.
iPad has its own issues.
Right. Well, there are plenty of tablets like Instagram, all the ones that people always say that, Google doesn't, or only Android apps don't fit iPad. There are plenty of iPad or iPhone apps that overly scale to iPads or just don't fit or just don't work. But that problem for the main apps, the most popular stuff, was not a big problem compared to the Android lack of popular stuff. And a lot of people who weren't deeply invested into Google stuff and relied on third-party stuff that weren't updated, like that's where people that came to me before would be like, yeah, I want an Android tablet. My recommendation was always what, Christian? Pixel C.
Mm-hmm.
And, right? Or before then, Nexus 9. And then when those options became
Nexus 9?
Think about it. They're the Nexus 9 time, right? There was here's the 3 tablets.
I mean, I bought an Nexus 9 day one, so like I'm kind of, but we're different than.
But it wasn't. Listen, Nexus 9 wasn't good though.
That's what I'm saying.
But it was. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but that was the best option, and that was the problem.
Only because I sold my Nexus 7. I would have stuck with the Nexus 7 over Nexus 9. Anyway.
Right. If they updated Nexus 7 to at least Lollipop, yeah, sure. Well, people would have, right?
Right.
I'm just saying, like that's the thing, right? It's like Google needed to take updates to tablets more seriously. OEM need to take updates to tablets more serious. They shouldn't have felt like 1 year products. And like when you buy a phone, we have this we're pre-notion to say, okay, we upgrade our phones every year, and that's that. So they're like, oh yeah, they'll upgrade the tablets every year too. No, they're not. They barely use it in the first place. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like it's become these consumption devices that sit around the house for everybody to use, and no one picks it up. And then when they do, you're not thinking about, oh, this is already obsolete and broken. I said the Pixel C was the best Android tablet to ever exist, and it's gone, and there's nothing else to replace it. And then so effectively, Android tablets are dead because the Pixel C is no longer getting updates, like OS updates. They get security updates for another year, but who cares?
Aww.
Sell my Pixel C in case anyone wants it, by the way.
I'll give you $5. Okay, 15.
I'll go to 100.
All right, so since we're on the tablet push, let's jump on to what Apple announced, because again, we're a little bit later than we wanted to be with this whole situation, but we're gonna talk about it anyway because it's important.
No.
Apple's education event went down. You guys impressed?
No.
No.
At all.
Keon says no, not at all. Why not?
Because all they did was take last year's tablet, give it pen support, and put some apps on it. They didn't change the price.
Isn't that enough?
Anything? No. For what? I mean, for kids, like, okay. I'm not impressed with it for me. For kids, it seems fine. I'll say that. Let me say that. Because I can definitely see the pen support being very nice for students, especially if you're in any type of art class or if you're a younger student who just likes to draw and shit. But for me, if I'm looking at it for my life at all, no, I'm not impressed at all.
So tell me this. So for those of us who are not children, wouldn't we just get the iPad Pro?
The iPad Pro is a totally different tablet. The iPad Pro is like what Kristen was talking about. What Javon was talking about is when you want a tablet that actually does something,
right?
A lot and could potentially replace a computer for a lot of people. So if you want your tablet to replace your computer and not just be like an internet device or controlling your TV, definitely get an iPad Pro. But if you just want a tablet to read and do internet and change the TV channels, then you can get the $300 iPad.
All right. So how do you judge this new iPad? I guess the new 2018 iPad. It's not the Pro, so we're not expecting it to compete with the computer. It's kind
of like an S series tablet, but for kids. Not for kids, for education.
Javon, you impressed?
I'm impressed.
Why are you impressed, Javon?
Because it's a good tablet, and it's the only tablet people can buy.
Same tablet as last year, though. Like, that's
right, but here's the thing.
Okay, so hold up. So Keon, you said same problem as last year.
No, not same problem, same tablet.
Same tablet. Okay. So same tablet as last year. All right, they had some things. So
literally the same tablet as last year.
Same tablet as last year. Why is this so great?
It's great because it's the same tablet as last year. for the points that I made just about Google stuff earlier, the only tablet in this price point, and I'm not even gonna do the review anymore because I'm just gonna say it right here. It's the only tablet in this price point that fits everybody's needs. Period. There's no other tablet, even for Android Google users, that anyone can use that can do what this tablet does for the price that it does. And if you want to compare apples to apples, and I know I sound like the biggest Apple lover for saying this, but it's going to outperform the majority of Chromebooks and Chrome tablets that come out anyway. I mean, the new Oasis
wait. You would buy this tablet over a Chromebook?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I disagree heavy.
But here's my thing to this, right? I'm not buying a tablet, even the iPad Pro, to replace a computer.
Right.
And when I say a computer, I'm talking about a MacBook or a Windows computer.
Yeah.
I even a Chromebook, if I'm using a Chromebook for work, this isn't going to replace my Chromebook for work, because the way that you scale Windows and things like that, there's a certain flow to a computer. There's like a dance to it, right? You don't do that dance with an iPad. With the iPad, it's single, and yes, it can multitask, but it doesn't multitask as well as Android tablets, as we know in terms of how things operate. So you take an app and you just do stuff, and it works fast. Like that is the epitome. That is the definition of an iPad. It's an iPhone that's stretched out to do that one app that you want to do with more stuff on the screen, and it can do it fast. And that's why I like the iPad. I think Apple didn't take any moves here, and for the first time, Apple holding back is actually a good thing for this tablet, because at this price point for users at $329, it's very good. For schools at $299, it's very good. You increase the processor speed to the A10. It's a very fast chip. By no means is this chip a slouch, although it's 2 years old, right? It's a very fast chip. It's faster than some i5 processors out there. So it's a very fast chip. And you look at the Apple Pen. It has its benefits. It has low latency. It works. It's fast, right? It adds a layer to people who need that layer of only an Apple Pen can provide. So, because for everyone else, you use a regular stylus, right? So, the fact that you have a good tablet, even if you just want to consume media, or if you want to get some work done and you want to get a Bluetooth keyboard or whatever, right? This can do it at a price point that doesn't feel bad, and it's going to last long.
This tablet plus a keyboard is easily $400, and you're saying you'd rather have
a
that.
good Chromebook is roughly around $500.
Good Chromebook, you can get a $200 Chromebook, a $300 Chromebook.
Okay, you tell me a good $200. We're not talking about no Asus Flip, no Acer Series 1.
I'm just saying, like I still stand by. I'd rather have a computer than a tablet.
Dude, like put it there, right? You can get work done with a.
You can get work done with a pen and a pencil.
Right, with the Chromebook at $100, right?
I don't know. There's no Chromebook for $100. There's no Chromebook for $100 though.
Like here's what I'm saying, right? Like there's a difference of quality, right? When it comes to Chromebooks,
the quality is not worth the price in my eyes. In my eyes, the quote unquote jump in quality is not worth $200.
For people who buy tablets for tablet things, there's no other tablet at $329 that can do what the iPad can do better.
I agree, but
at $329, there's no Chromebook that can do anything better than a $500 Chromebook can.
Wait, at $300, no Chromebook.
There's no Chromebook that can do anything better than a $500 Chromebook. Because at that price point, Chromebooks suck. For the general for the workhorse for that productivity user.
I disagree. Well, for a productivity user, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about general.
So you know what's funny is this whole thing kind of scores. You know, the real issue right now is people trying to come up with their like electronic device portfolio, right? Like, where do these things fit? What am I supposed to do? And that's why in my video that I haven't finished yet, but I talk about, you know, like my experience with a Chromebook and really kind of how does it fit, right? Like it's this certain price point and I want to do certain things. It's hard if you already own a PC, like a desktop computer, right? And you own a smartphone. The in between these Chromebook things and these tablet things, and which one do you really need? And which one are you going to actually use if you want to do X, Y, and Z task? Like if you own a Chromebook and a desktop computer, when are you using the Chromebook versus the computer? If you need to type something.
When you're not at your desk.
Well, right, but like, why wouldn't you just go to your desk and type? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what?
like there's this thing, right? When you,
like, how are you working at the couch seriously when you could just be at your nice computer?
Laptop.
But why are you guys talking about like business users? This isn't made for a business user.
I'm talking from just a general consumer who's willing to consume stuff.
Yeah,
for students.
Right. Okay. Listen, Apple doesn't really mean it's for students. Okay, let's be 100% real here, right? Like they did this because Google has like 50% or more of the school market. They're like, damn it, we gotta do something. Let's make an app called Classroom and put it in beta with all the rest of the stuff, and then we'll launch it. We'll fix it. We'll just say something now, and then we'll make it down the road. That's all they did.
That sounds like Google,
right? Well, they needed something. They do. Bottom line, when it comes to school stuff, yes, the ChromeOS and the Chrome tablets does more for a school user. But for the average person who goes to school on top of that, an iPad is just a better product at that price point. At $329, I'm taking an iPad over any Chromebook at $329. Now, when you start breaking into that iPad Pro price point at $500 plus, I can get a real Chromebook laptop for that money. Get a quality screen.
The low end Dell at that point, and then it's like,
well, it depends on what I want to do, right? But at the end of the day, we're talking about tablets. And when it comes to tablet things, and people still buy tablets, there's only one leader, and that's the iPad, because there's only one damn tablet.
I don't disagree with. As far as tablets go, iPad, there's no other. There's really, people use the word iPad instead of using the word tablet for it. There's really no other thing.
Yeah, and I guess the problem is, when do you need a tablet versus when do you need a Chromebooky thing?
For me, the only reason I would ever want to get a tablet is to read books.
Yeah, they're good to read. Honestly, playing games is a big thing for a lot of people. I'd rather play an iPad game than a Chromebook game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Chromebook. Yeah, yes, it's weird.
Like even though they run Android apps, like there's not many. This is the form factor of a Chrome OS laptop to play an Android game. It doesn't feel right.
And it's more weird if you already have a computer and a phone that can play games, right? Like it's like,
but like even thing, right? You would play games on your tablet more than your phone. Because I do. I like, but I pick up my phone and my phone's the only thing on me, then I have something because it's the only thing on me. But if I have to choose between something, I'm playing my games on my tablet. I'm consuming media on my time, watching videos and things. And everything just feels better. The speakers are louder. The screen is crisper. Everything is just better on the tablet. And maybe I'm just a tablet user or whatever. But and people who are looking to buy a tablet, regardless, it comes down to iPad or iPad because there's only an iPad, and that's the problem. There's no competition.
Here's the competition, and the reason why I ended up getting the ZenPad was really because I'm getting it for my son, and I wanted control. End of the day, right. Control freak. So I'm like, you know what? I can do Family Link. I can lock it down. I can shut it off. I can do what needs to be done. I can see what he's doing. And so Apple hasn't really done this yet. And I think that's...
They have some restrictive stuff.
They have iCloud Family or whatever.
Yeah, they have the restrictive stuff.
No,
but it's not... Honestly,
you can't control the device.
It's not the same as Family Link. Family Link is definitely much more...
It's device control.
Modular. It's definitely modular for Family Link. You can control a lot more stuff than just you can't open this or download that or uninstall that. Like you can say, hey, timer, hey, screen, hey, push users off the jump. You know what I'm saying?
Down now.
Yeah, like things like that. Like
change the password.
Right, you can offer even support in a way. You can show your screen from any app and log in and do stuff and control things. So that's great, and that's why I said, right, the options aren't there for somebody who is like, listen, like I don't like. Yes, you can have your entire Google Play library on your iPad, and it works just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But for people who don't know that or don't even want an iPad, someone's like, I don't want to carry an extra charger around. I want everything to be USB-C in my house. I want an Android tablet that's good. A lot of people don't know there's a ZenPad 3S 10. That's good.
It's pretty sweet.
It's a good tablet. It's solid. No one's gonna trust it because it ain't what they're used to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know. We don't know if it's gonna get Oreo. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if it's gonna get right? Pete's pretty much out the question. You don't know if it's gonna get Oreo, right? And that's an issue. You don't know where your support begins or ends with those tablets, and that's part of the greater problem of Android tablets in whole, and because they're so dispensable, they're so replaceable to the OEMs that they don't treat them as seriously as their phones. Right, Apple does. Apple takes care of the iPad users.
So tell me this, bottom line, the next 3 years, do we see a winner in this education field, or is it still going to be?
It's ChromeOS.
Yeah,
ChromeOS wins.
I don't know if they're going to lose it to Apple.
Right. They're not.
Do you think Apple can catch up and kind of take some serious ground, or it's more or less done deal?
They might be able to.
Because, I mean, Apple used to be there back in the day. It was Apple, right? Like, they were the ones in the class.
Emacs.
They didn't have competition.
Those little teeny black and white, monitors, and you can play Risk or Oregon Trail and stuff. It's a good time.
Yeah, I think they can grab some ground. I don't know if what am I gonna say? Oh yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be the majority, but they can definitely take more ground than they have now in a lot more areas.
What will it take, do you think, for them to really kind of make headway? Apple, that is.
For Google to go bankrupt.
Yeah, or for them to change functionally how iOS works. But I think they can coexist.
Yeah, coexisting. Yeah, I can see that.
I think you can have a classroom with iPads and ChromeOS because I think they can functionally do a lot of the same, and also they can do. There are some strengths and differences.
No, that's where I disagree, Jovan. People, people. People have difficulty learning things.
Like you made a point earlier, right? The generation that grows up, the youngest generation, everything is a touch screen, right? The creatives. There are creatives out there at a young age that when they grow up, all they're going to understand is that touch input, right? Eventually they'll have to learn real stuff with keyboards and whatnot, right? But for that older kid who is a creative type, as of right now, you can't name me any I would say creative applications on ChromeOS, meaning a powerful photo editor, a powerful video editor on ChromeOS. These are things that the iPad can do, right? And it has the power to back it up. And I'm not even saying something as mundane as iMovie can make a serious project, right? So if you kind of incorporate, like, everyone's learning style is different, where an iPad can really focus and get someone to a point where the Chromebook can't, and vice versa. The Chromebook can really unlock that inner math nerd with Excel and numbers and Google's, what's it called, spreadsheet. And you can do things with Chrome and from a computational learning stuff, and there's Google stuff. And I'm sure a lot of these AI and AR and VR stuff, and both sides will incorporate new things, and both of them are going to add new stuff. But there's a creative-esque still that Microsoft is starting to come back with that Apple already has, and that's, you think of an Apple device, and you think of an iPad, you think of an iPhone, you think of a MacBook, and you're still thinking creator.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but my point is this, and which is why it's difficult for Apple to kind of make headway, is that there's big issues as far as contracts for devices, right? Like, they're buying in bulk, and training,
too much,
and training, right? So imagine you have a school, you got to train 500 teachers, right, on how to actually manage the classroom, manage these devices. It is going to be a pain in the neck to make sure they understand how to use both iOS and this ChromeOS environment and manage these devices. The IT staff probably handle it, right?
I don't think it'll be that hard, just because you're not using every function of the device. You're just using.
Do you deal with users very often?
Well, I mean, I've had a teacher who used Google Classroom just fine. So,
well, and the thing on classrooms, right?
They're standouts. I'm talking about the average person.
There are things in classrooms that you can do on the iPad. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of Google services are still services, and they're not hardware restrictive. So you can manage and do a lot of stuff still right from the Chrome. And a lot of the schools are going to adopt ChromeOS as that de facto operating system of the school. But a lot of those same people personally carry around iPhones. They personally carry around, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these kids still have FaceTime and iMessage.
Kids, yeah. I'm talking about the people managing this. The team. I have a lot of people where I work they still don't know the difference between using the browser on a tablet and using an app on a tablet, right? Like, it's like years of confusion, right? Just imagine now throwing on top of that, like, multiple OSs. Like, they already have to log into their computer to do whatever thing, and now they got, Chrome OS. And even me, when I switch between iPhone and the Pixel, like, every now and then I get frustrated because I'm like, wait, do I swipe up? No, I'm swiping down. No, wait, I forgot I have to go press the home button. Wait, no, I gotta press the button. I can't just touch the button because it's even me, between them, it gets like, I really would rather not have to remember all the different shortcuts and rules, and like, oh, there's a back button here. Oh, wait, no back button. Oh, it's a back link. I press at the top, right? Like, for me, it's frustrating. I just think that Indie Classroom is going to pick one. And that's probably going to be the same thing for a school, which means potentially a school system will say, hey, look, we're going to standardize on X thing, and in 3 or 5 years, we'll reevaluate. And I think that's maybe when Apple can, if they've made some leeway, they can slip in that next round for some of these school systems. Like, hey, look, the price came down, next refresh, we're going to go all in, training materials, in services for teachers, roll it out. But I really can't see them doing both. Personally, I think it's crazy. But maybe you guys know smarter users than me. Sounds like it.
Next generation of kids, man. They're teaching the teachers now.
Put that out there.
What?
I said I don't get confused between iOS and Android. I just want to put that out there.
Okay, nerd.
I use both of mine equally, so it's just my brain.
Yes. Well, we are a rare species, especially you, I guess. So. All right. Well, so I guess we don't think we can pick a winner yet, but looks like Apple is making leeway, especially because of the price, I think. So I say we keep an eye on this, see what happens going out, and see if they can actually get their MDM to work properly, get this hashing thing to work properly. Because if that doesn't work, then,
So I'm asking you guys real quick. If Google came out with a Pixel tablet that runs ChromeOS, and of course it'll probably be updated with revamped, GUI and whatnot, are you picking up an iPad?
How much does it cost?
Let's say it costs. Let's say it's like a $400, $399, right? Which is average. That's a fair price.
Google made a $400 Pixel tablet.
Like ran ChromeOS and Android apps, and then you have right, it's right in between that sweet spot between iPad Pro and
iPad Pro starts at $650.
I mean, let's be real. Refurbished tablets are a thing. I'm keeping it 100, man. People they buy and sell refurbished tablets. I'm just saying, a lot of people buy refurbished tablets because you generally get them $500. You can start getting an iPad Pro. So, at that price point, you can even go iPad. Like I said, you're still getting an A10 chip, and all the other bells and whistles, of the iPad. What are you going to buy with your money? Like would you?
For me, right? Like here's the thing: I have a computer, right? I have a smartphone. Now I have a Switch. I have almost zero need for a tablet. Like if I were to get a tablet, it would be as a gift, and I would use the heck out of it. But to spend my hard-earned money to get another device, for me, that device is not going to be a tablet. It'll probably be an upgrade for my computer or some games or a new phone or something. Like to me, like that additional device is just.
But if you had to pick
unnecessary,
like gun to your head, and you're making
gun to my head,
gun to your head, buy a tablet.
Okay. I'll buy a tablet. For me, if I'm buying it for me to use, I'm going to get the Pixel tablet. Why? Because I already have my purchases. I know everything syncs, and I just feel like I'm in the ecosystem. That's the one I'm staying in. If I'm buying it for someone else, and they don't give a care which one, I'm probably telling them get the iPad. That's my answer. Gun to my head, I have to get one.
If I had to buy one, I'd buy Google because I'm a Google guy. If I'm giving it to somebody generally, it's probably going to be the iPad.
I think we're all unanimous on this one.
It's weird, right? But I feel like
I would really need to see what ChromeOS can really do at this point, because I'm not a firm believer in ChromeOS, which is really sad. And I like the ChromeOS laptops. Sound crazy, right? From a tablet perspective, they have not got me sold. And this is the same way I was before I was in the Chromebooks, right? I was like, man, I don't know, man. Android got me all in, but ChromeOS, I don't know. And it's like, I know ChromeOS, and I know the direction that they're going. And yet, maybe it's a form factor thing. Maybe the Asus tablet threw me the hell off, right? Maybe it's a form factor thing. But how can they make that thing usable? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when would you actually want to sit down and play with the ChromeOS tablet? Like,
you don't.
It just seems like it's like complicated for no reason. I don't know. It's just weird.
It's like getting a Surface, right? Those
and
so
that's
great.
what I don't want. See that? I think you hit it on the nail, Christian. I don't want a Google Surface. I don't want a Google Surface.
That's what it looks like.
I do not want a Google Surface. I don't even want a Microsoft Surface. I don't even want an Apple Surface, right? Like, don't mix them for me. Just let it be one or the other. Like, kills me.
All right. Keon, Google Surface, yes?
No, I don't like Microsoft anything. So I don't know why y'all don't even speak of Microsoft to me.
Yeah, like the word Surface. It doesn't even use surfaces of any kind, Microsoft or otherwise.
That has to do with Microsoft. I hate it. Gross. I did earlier this year when I had a lot more money than I have now. I thought about getting the Xbox One to play like 2 games and to play with like 2 of my friends who I know only had an Xbox because they're lame. So, but then I didn't ended up getting it, and I think I'm happier for it.
Why not? Why not? All right, folks. Well, I think we've wow, we really went longer than I thought we would. Like, I was talking to Javon, like, I don't know if we're gonna make it, this topic. We'll see. And somehow we just blah 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 blah, and then we, look back and the time has passed and we did it again. Good times, guys.
Good times.
Good times. Good times. Good talks. Good talks. Good times. Good times. So, all right, folks. To wrap it up, Jovan.
Yo.
Projects upcoming.
There are a few, right? But first of all, I'm not even going to apologize about no content for over the last month because shit's been hard, guys. Like sometimes life just hits you and you're just like, man, what? Like, where did that come from? So yeah, that's what happened. No apologies here. You will see content very soon. Projects are down the road. There's going to be some sneak peeks. We have that long-awaited ChromeOS video. We have some Switch stuff. We have some Bose QC35 Series 2 with Google Assistant reviews. We have some top Android apps. We have some top iOS apps. And we have some new series down the road, which will probably trickle out. The series stuff will probably trickle out throughout the summertime. But there is new content coming out, so on the video side. So definitely check out our channel. Stay subscribed, stay faithful. Also, the podcast stuff, Christian.
Yeah. So people, podcast is up and running. We have actually loaded it all into Anchor, which means if you go to anchor.fm website, you can find us there. Chill Tech Podcast, the Anchor app. We're on iTunes and Pocket Cast right now. So still trying to get it to link up to Spotify, some other things. But for now, those three for sure are available. Check us out. This one should be up there probably tomorrow morning or so. Tomorrow morning, meaning April 5th, for those of you that are, not watching live. So that'll be coming up. I am working on a brainchild of a weekly 3 to 5 minute new news breaking kind of a thing for YouTube. So keep an eye out for that. Once I get my studio set back up, we'll be doing that. I was bit by the just the tired bug. Like for about 3 weeks, literally, I would come home and I was too tired to even play video games. Like I played no games for like 3 weeks. Like I would maybe watch Netflix, but I was like, video games is too much thinking. I can't even deal. Like I'm just done. So I'm back now. I'm playing games. I'm getting content ready. So that'll be up soon. Keon, how about the website? What's new? What's going on?
As Javon said, content will be coming. I've gotten insanely busy with new projects that if you follow me on my social networks, you're about to find out about.
Oh.
Plus, I just got Far Cry, and like I said, it's been so hard to pull myself away. So hard. I've only been playing for 3 days, and it's just so hard to pull myself away.
I understand. I understand.
So yeah, content will be coming out on the website, you guys. I'm always doing stuff in the backgrounds of everything. So again, if you follow me at Chaoser somewhere, anywhere, I should be there turning up.
Sweet. All right, Javon. So where can people find you running around? You're on Instagram a lot, right? Posting
I'm on Instagram.
But you're on private.
I'm on private, so I gotta screen you first.
I'm not private, so go ahead and click that follow button on me.
I'm at
he loves the DMs.
Instagram and on Twitter, I'm Javon52, and I've been tweeting more lately.
Yeah.
So like one tweet a week. I'm tweeting more.
Nice. Yeah. Well, as far as me, I am that I'm that old guy, right? Like I'm like social media is mostly for consumption for me. I go on, I'm nosy, I see what's going on with people. All right, looks good, everybody's good. All right, on to what I was doing. So my posts are very few and far between, but if you want to hit me up and play some games, some Hearthstone, some Heroes of the Storm, some whatever, find me on Battle.net, Quicksilver. It's what? #, hash, whatever you want to call it, $12.99. That's me. Hashtag, yeah, for all you hip youngsters out there. That's where I be on occasion. As far as Chill Tech Studio, chilltechstudio.com is where all of our stuff can be found. on the social medias, pretty much always at Chill Tech Studio. One word, no underscores, just run it together.
Run it together.
Like you don't care. All right, folks, it's been fun. Been real.
For real.
Catch you next time.
Peace.
See ya.